Welcome to Unit 2, Chapter 5, Recipe Conversions and Yields, Exercise 5-1 and 5-2. I thought I would combine these two. It's a very short chapter and it's only two recipes or two formulas you actually need to remember. And what we use these for is to take an existing recipe and then convert them to amounts that you want that the recipe does not originally make for you. So as an example, we have a recipe here that makes 12 large muffins. We want to convert this recipe to make 30 muffins and also to make 80 muffins. So what we need is we need a conversion factor. And once we have our conversion factor, we round that off to 2 decimal places. And then, of course, we're going to round the quantity of each ingredient off to the nearest whole number. That just makes everything easier to measure. So let's talk about this conversion factor. The conversion factor is a very simple formula. It's the new yield divided by the old yield. And in our first column that we are looking for answers, our new yield, we want 30 muffins. But our old yield, our original yield, makes 12. So our formula is the new yield divided by the old yield. So it gives us something like this: 30, the new yield, divided by 12, the original or old yield. 30 divided by 12 is equal to 2.5, rounded off to 2 decimal places. Well, we didn't need to do this here. That's the toughest part. After that, all we do is we take our conversion factor and multiply each individual ingredient amount by the conversion factor, in our case, 2.5. So let's take a look at our first one. We're going to take the 325 grams of all-purpose flour. 325 grams is how much we need to make 12 muffins. We're going to multiply that by our conversion factor of 2.5, and now we need 812.5 grams, or 813 grams. So if we want to make 13 muffins, or sorry, if we want to make 30 muffins, we need 813 grams as opposed to the 325 grams needed for 12 muffins. The natural brand, 125 grams, we're going to divide that by the conversion factor. So we get 100, or multiply it, sorry, by the conversion factor. 125 times 2.5 gives us 312.5, or 313 grams. So to make 30 muffins, we need 313 grams of natural brand as opposed to the 125 grams needed for 12. All we have to do is keep multiplying the conversion factor by each of these ingredient amounts, and that will let us know exactly how much we need. Now, if you want to spend a little bit more time with these figures individually, all you need to do is pause this video, and you can look at these conversion factors a little closer and a little bit more at your speed. I'm just going to keep moving along. I'm going to come up to my 80 yield. I want to make 80 muffins, but my original recipe had still only made 12. So I need to get my conversion factor formula going. I'm going to take my new yield, I'm going to divide it by my original yield, or in this case, 80 divided by 12 gives me 6.6 repeated. Rounded off to 2 decimal numbers, my new conversion factor for 80 muffins is 6.67. And just like I did when I wanted a yield of 30 muffins, I'm going to take my conversion factor for 80 muffins and use it to multiply each one of my original recipe ingredient numbers. So for my all-purpose flour, I'm going to multiply 325 grams times 6.267, the yield percent, or the conversion factor for an 80 yield. So I will now need 2,168 grams to make 80 muffins as opposed to the 325 I needed to make 12. If I look at my natural brand, same thing, 125 grams from the original recipe multiplied by my conversion factor of 6.67. My rounded total is 834 grams to make 80 muffins instead of the 125 I needed to make 12. I continue multiplying my conversion factor of 6.67 by all of these ingredient amounts, and these are the ingredient amounts that I need for 80 muffins when my original recipe made 12. Again, you can pause this so you can look at these numbers and these equations one at a time, but essentially remember the conversion factor formula is the new yield how much do I want now, divided by the original yield, how much does my recipe make? That gives you the conversion factor. You take that conversion factor and you multiply the amount of each ingredient in your original recipe to get how much you need to make your new yields, be it 30, be it 80, be it whatever number you want. A simple formula to remember, but there is one exception, and here it is. In our last example, our recipe made 12 units. We made 12 muffins. We wanted 80 units. So our portion amounts were the same. We were just playing with the amount of portions. Well, here in this recipe, our old yield or original recipe makes 64 portions. Little bread rolls, dinner rolls, soft dinner rolls. We make 64 dinner rolls, and each dinner roll is 1¼ ounce each. So we have a portion size, we have a portioned amount and a portion size. Well, our new yield, not only do we want a different portion amount, but we want a different portion size. Our customer has 180 people coming over, so he wants 140 soft dinner rolls. But they like the rolls so much, they don't just want 1¼ ounce size, they want each roll to be 2 ounces. So instead of 64 1.25 ounce soft dinner rolls, our customer wants 140 2-ounce dinner rolls. So we are going to have to figure out our conversion factor, and ultimately we're still going to get back to the new yield divided by the old yield. We just have to take into account the fact that we now have different portion sizes as well. So what we do for the new yield, we will take our new portions times our new portion size. So 140 times 2 ounces. And then we will divide that by the old portion amount, 64, divided by multiplied by the old portion size of 1.25. So it's going to look like this. We're going to take the new portion amount, 140, and multiply it by the new portion size, and we're going to divide it by the old portion amount times the old portion size. And if we look at the results of this, we realize that we now want 280 ounces of soft dinner rolls. That's our new yield. And our original yield was 80 ounces of soft dinner rolls. So here we are on this line here, we have our new yield, and we're going to divide it by our old yield, and we get 3.5. From here, everything works exactly the same way. We're going to take the 3.5 conversion factor and multiply it by the 600 milliliters we need of water, and now we need 2100 milliliters to make our 140 portions at 2 ounces each. Next, for the yeast, we needed 60. We're going to multiply it by 3.5. We now need 210 grams of yeast to make our new yield. And we continue doing that all the way down, taking our new conversion factor and multiplying each ingredient amount by that number. The only difference, once again, is that our portion amount and portion sizes were both different. Our original recipe and our new yield had different portion amounts and different portion sizes. So there you go, two simple formulas. We need the new yield, we'll divide it by the old yield, and then we can use it for any recipe we have in our recipe book.